Hi, my name's Doug Hewitson. I work for Middlesbrough Council's 50 Futures programme. I came into this role actually as a 50 Futures candidate. That was approximately 2.5 years ago. I'd been unemployed for a period of time. I had to close my business down when my mum became ill and I was taking time out to look after her. When it got to the point where I was ready to go back into the workplace, I was having difficulty finding employment with applications being rejected, not getting any feedback. And I felt myself, having employed people previously, that the reason for that was there was a gap in my CV. I coincidentally was in the job centre and saw a flyer for 50 Futures. I decided to look into it and apply. Within a week, I was on a placement and I was helping people within the local community hubs search for employment using the IT equipment, helping them update the CVs, providing advice with the interview process, and I found a real passion for it. I found that I really enjoyed it. I had been looking for a career change. I knew I didn't want to be self-employed anymore, but wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. After seeing the services that had been delivered to my mum while she was ill, all the support she received from organisations within the council, such as the Stay and Put agency that helped to renovate a home to make it more practical for her to live there longer, and also just all the support that we got from local services. I had a feeling that I wanted to move into something that was helping and supporting people. I didn't know what that would look like, so getting the opportunity on 50 Futures helped direct which direction I was going towards. Fortunately for me, while on the placement, feedback was being sent back to the manager, and when a job became available, I was asked to interview for that, and I was successful in getting that job. I stayed with Roots to Work for 2 years until that project came to an end. Unfortunately for me, an opportunity with 50 Futures became available, and as I'd seen it on both sides of the desk, I knew what it was like to be getting these rejections. I knew what it was like to seem like it wasn't making any progress. I felt that it'd be an excellent opportunity for me. So when someone comes to 50 Futures and they see me for the first time, the first meeting is very much an information, advice and guidance session almost. Everyone who comes through the door isn't going to be suitable for a placement as soon as they meet me. So what I like to do is direct them towards suitable training or qualifications that might help them on the career path that they've chosen to go down. So for example, if someone comes to me wanting to get into construction, there's certain steps we have to take first so that they have the CSCS card. If someone wanted to go into security, I'd help them get the SIA card, and then I'd find them a suitable placement. The placements range from 1 to 8 weeks. It covers everything from, as I mentioned, security and construction, to administration, to marketing, to more recently arts production. So there's a wide, diverse range of roles available for people. Typical day now as a Middlesbrough Council employee varies greatly. One day I can be working on the website. The next day I'll be engaging with employers, trying to asking them to provide placements to people, making sure that it's going to be a quality placement, because the last thing we want to do is send someone onto a placement where they're not getting value from it. But it needs to be reciprocal. It needs to be the employee gets something advantageous out of it, and also the candidate gets something advantageous out of it, because our aim is that participants are going to be inspired by the placement. They're going to choose that as a career. They're going to gain valuable skills that will help them move towards that job role, and they'll be more determined to make an impact in that field. And potentially, when vacancies become available within the council, they can apply for those vacancies and the manager's going to remember them. So it's a way for them to get the foot in the door. And it also, one of the biggest barriers I found when I was unemployed, it was not having a current reference available. Because I'd been self-employed, because I'd taken time out and there was a gap in my CV, I had no one I could go to for a reference. By coming to the 50 Futures programme, putting your best effort forward to complete a placement, it means that you've got someone to go to when you do need a reference, and it helps overcome that barrier.